All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this one because Caroline Levitt just absolutely went off, especially she went off on Biden former press White House Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre running her mouth. And here she go coming out trying to say that Caroline Levitt, pretty much calling Caroline Levitt a deplorable. Seemed like the same term Hillary Clinton called Trump supporters. Deplorable. I mean, just absolutely insane. Like, where had this woman been at? Ain't this Karine Jean-Pierre the same woman that was trying to sell a book that flopped? Kind of like what Kamala Harris tried to do. They always trying to sell books. And now she wants to come out and go at Caroline Levitt because she's jealous of Caroline Levitt. Is that what that is? Just don't make any sense at all. And of course, Democrats is still, they pissed off because of President Trump, having a new stunning White House ballroom that he's getting built right now. And they crying over that. It's like it don't matter what President Trump do, they gonna cry about it. If this man go to the bathroom, they gonna get mad about it. If this man go to the grocery store, they gonna get mad about it. I'm just telling you, it's just at the point where President Trump, no matter what he do, they gonna get mad. No matter what this man do, no matter what he say, they're going to get mad. So we got a lot to get into. I definitely want to show y'all this. And like I said before, they still crying and stuff over there, still trying to blame President Trump over this government shutdown. But we about to unfold all of it. Make sure you please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video and let me know in the comment section that you did stay to the end. I appreciate all of you that do that because it definitely helps the channel grow and it helps get President Trump's message out there. So like I said, salute to everybody who do that. Like I said, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. Now, I want to start off with this right here, how now that the Democrats are jealous of what President Trump came up with. So check this out. Now, before we get into the video, I definitely want to bring this to everybody's attention. So we had just got breaking news. It said that a man plows into security gate outside the White House, causing a lockdown. And then it go on to say right in here, they say that an area surrounding the White House was put under lockdown on Tuesday night after a driver plowed into a security gate. The unidentified driver rammed the barricades at the intersection of 17th and East Street Northwest at around 10:30 p.m. Before he was immediately arrested by officers from the Secret Service Uniform Division. Investigators searched his car and deemed it to be safe, Secret Service officials said in a statement. Then it said President Donald Trump was inside the White House at the time of the crash. Authorities have not yet released the suspect's identity or any motivation for the crash as the investigation continues. In the meanwhile, the road leading to the gate will remain closed until police tow the dark sedan away, but the White House itself is not on lockdown. And you can see this is the guy car right here that rammed the gate. And think about it, this was at 10:30 at night. So it ain't no telling, what was on this guy's mind, what he was, trying to do. And of course, President Trump was inside the White House at the time of this right here happening, which is some scary stuff because there's so much stuff going on right now that you just can't trust anybody. And now you got a guy who just ramming his vehicle at 10:30 at night. Then it go on to say the incident is just the latest White House breach. In March, a gunman was shot by Secret Service members after being spotted with a firearm just outside the White House. The armed man from Indiana parked his vehicle on 17th and G Street just a stone's throw away from the president's home and was walking around the streets with a gun. Secret Service agents revealed that the shooter held a dark secret as he has been suicided before making the journey from his home state to the Capitol on Saturday. President Trump was at his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida when the ordeal took place. When agents found the suicidal man, he started brandishing his firearm, which triggered an armed confrontation just feet from the White House. The man, who has not been identified, was rushed to the hospital with injuries. The Secret Service members was unarmed during the incident. And like I said before, that's why we got to keep President Trump safe at all time, because now you got people ramming the White House gates at 10:30 at night. Pretty much we're trying to ram it so he can try to get through. And of course, like I said before, President Trump was inside at the time that it happened. And you can see right here, By Leonard Smith said exclusive video car crash into Secret Service security gate at the White House. And you can see right in here, the Secret Service out there. Just insane, man. Wow. So of course now they torn the car away now. Knock the stop sign over, just knock stuff over, man. And of course, like I said, we don't know what his motivation was, what he was trying to do, or whatever the case may be. Then it said by Dark Pages that while a car just rammed into a White House barricade, the Secret Service took the driver into custody immediately. So like I said, man, this is just some scary stuff, man. Because like I said, you just never know what's on these people's mind, what their motivation is. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. And of course, TMZ say a driver has been arrested after allegedly crashing his car into a security gate near the president's residence at the White House Tuesday night. So, like I said, I definitely wanted to bring that to y'all attention so everybody would know. Like I said, make sure you put prayers for President Trump down below in the comment section. And now let's go ahead and jump into the video. By Eric Dawson, just in. Caroline Levitt says Democrats are jealous that President Trump came up with the genius idea to build a new stunning White House ballroom, debunks their fake outrage. Like I said, it don't matter what this man do, they just gonna have an outrage about it. But check it out.
It certainly appears that way, Jesse, and I believe there's a lot of fake outrage right now because nearly every single president who has lived in this beautiful White House behind me has made modernizations and renovations of their own. And in fact, presidents for decades in the modern time have quipped about how they wish they had a larger event space here at the White House that can hold hundreds more people than the current East Room and state dining rooms can. In fact, President Obama notably complained that during his tenure, he had to hold a state visit on the South Lawn and get a very expensive tent. If you talk to journalists who have covered the White House for decades, as I do here every single day, they will also tell you that administration after administration have publicly and privately spoken about the need for a larger event space. So while many presidents have privately dreamt about this, it's President Trump who is actually doing something about it. And he is the builder in chief. In large part, he was reelected back to this people's house because he's good at building things. He has done it his entire life, his entire career. And construction is a process at the end. The East Wing, which is an entirely separate structure from the executive mansion you see behind me, will be more modern and beautiful than ever. And then on top of that, the White House is going to have a big, beautiful ballroom for generations of Americans to come. And the best part of it all, it's not a dime of the taxpayers' money. The president has worked hard to privately fund this entire project from start to finish.
And there you go right there. Privately fund, not using taxpayer dollars. But if you go over there on The View, Whoopi Goldberg over there running her mouth, telling lies, talking about Donald Trump is using taxpayer dollars to build this ballroom. I mean, this is what these people, they don't do nothing but freaking lie. She said it was privately funded and is not going to be used by taxpayer dollars. And you still got people on the left saying that it's used by taxpayer dollars. It's like, my God, all they do is lie. All these lies, and check this out right here. So just now in a beautiful sight, crews are actively working on President Trump's new White House ballroom. Check it out.
On her effort, and it was actually televised nationally. Listen to this number. It was watched by 80 million viewers at home, and Jackie Kennedy won an Emmy Award for it. So why do we get the feeling that maybe if a Democratic administration was adding a ballroom to the White House, John, to your point, so people don't have to be outside on grass, that we wouldn't hear one peep from Democrats right here, who, again, it just seems like every day there's something to get outraged about. Yeah. And at some point, it's the party that cried wolf. People are just going to stop listening because how could you be outraged for so long about every little thing that this president does?
You see, and I just said that a few minutes ago, no matter what this man do, every little thing he do, everything that he say is an outrage for them. That's what I'm saying. Like, what can this man do that they will agree with?
And in this case, I think most Americans would support a ballroom in the White House, especially for those state dinners.
Now, something that Byron York even pointed out here, and that's the fact that the White House said that the existing building wouldn't be touched. But now we learn that a good portion, if not all, of the East Wing, the lobby and the offices, is being demolished. Byron York thinks that the president needs to explain this. What do you think?
I'm sure. I mean, and the president certainly isn't shy about talking. So if he says, okay, and this is obviously a former real estate developer, so he knows a thing or two about additions and obviously building these things, just explain, okay, we cannot add this unless perhaps in this case, and I'm not a guy that really works on, structures too much, but maybe there are support beams that need to be replaced in order to add these things. Maybe it's a plumbing thing. It could be 100 things. But I think if the president did come forward, and I'm sure he probably will, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, on her
and look at this right here. Haggle this clown right here, this dollar store, Dollar General, Barack Obama, Hakeem Jeffries. Already, don't y'all know every time this man talk, he always throwing his hand over and stuff like that. What's up with all this? You ain't scaring nobody. He always got his hand all like this. Look at this. Hakeem Jeffries. Donald Trump is demolishing the East Wing of the White House for a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a king.
Donald Trump is once again preparing to fly out of the country. The East Wing of the White House is being demolished so that Donald Trump can construct a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a king. And at the same time, Trump is trying to rob taxpayers of $230 million to continue to line his pockets.
Just a lie, man. Look at these folks.
Zero interest, none, in addressing the healthcare crisis that they've created, is devastating people all across the country.
I mean, this man be sitting there with a straight face and just lying. First off, President Trump is not using taxpayer dollar for that ballroom. That right there has already been confirmed that he's not using that. Privately funded. Not using any taxpayer dollars. And he want President Trump to give him $1.5 trillion for free haircut for illegal aliens. And this is what he's crying about. Oh, Donald Trump don't care about haircut. No, it's what y'all want. And then not only that, y'all want backroom deals that you don't want the American people to even know about. So like I said, all this man do is just sit there and freaking lie. But we'll get back to that in just a second. Now, I did want to show y'all this. Now, if you see by Adogg said breaking, Joe Biden press secretary Jean-Pierre calls Caroline Levitt deplorable. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, we know that, the woman that called MAGA deplorables, called President Trump, supporters deplorable, Hillary Clinton, she said that one time. So it seemed like Jean-Pierre wanted to adopt that word for some reason. But Caroline Levitt absolutely went off. Check it out.
She called you deplorable, and you say?
Well, with all due respect to my predecessor, she is one of the main culprits of the greatest cover-up and scandal in American history. She took the podium every day and lied to the press about the incompetence of her boss. And on this book tour, she continues to lie. She said this past week that Joe Biden would still be up for the job if he had, God forbid, been reelected in November. She actually said this week as well.
Oh my God.
That Joe Biden did more press engagements than President Trump currently does now. Any person across the aisle can tell you that is a bald-faced lie. And I will just add, when you talk to the real journalists, not the ones who are actually activists that pose as journalists, but the people who actually care about truth, and there are some of those left in the White House press corps. I work with them every day. They will tell you the Trump White House is the most accessible and transparent White House ever. Not only does the president take questions from the press on a near daily basis, multiple times per day, as he did today, but we also provide truthful and accurate information about what this administration is doing and accomplishing. And it's a stark contrast to what they had over the past 4 years, where they were gaslit, where they were told Joe Biden was mentally stable and up for the job. That was a lie. Where they were told the administration was doing everything it could to secure the border. Also a lie. I'm very proud to work for the greatest president in history. I know Karine unfortunately worked for the most incompetent president in history, so I guess she has a reason to be bitter, but being bitter will not sell you books, Jesse.
Ben Bitter would not sell you books. You heard what Caroline Levitt just said, Kareem. So she gonna go on The View and try to call Caroline Levitt deplorable? Then it just don't get no worse than that. Now here go Anna Navarro, another person over here from The View. She goes over here on CNN trying to call out President Trump, talking about ICE isn't properly trained. And Scott Jennings just absolutely just goes off on him because Scott Jennings knows what's going on. But Anna Navarro, she got Trump derangement syndrome, so she pretty much against everything President Trump do and say. But check this out.
There's not. We've all seen it. And there should be.
You definitively state that they're not being properly trained. Do you know that?
They're shooting dogs. They're shooting
What?
dogs and people that have been locked in.
Shooting
people's bathrooms.
dogs?
They're abandoning small children alone in
False.
cars while they. No, it's not false. Look it up. Don't just say false. I actually.
Abandoning small children.
Yes,
they turned the children over to HHS.
There were actually
custody.
small children abandoned in a highway in a
You
car
have these
in
vague
Cicero,
anecdotes.
Illinois.
And you make these sweeping
how much
statements
more
that they're not
specific
training.
would you like me
They're
to
not
get
training ICE.
with,
Of course
with
they go through
examples
training.
of what is happening?
Of course they're training them.
Well, they're training them, then they're not learning the stuff. They're definitely
She don't know what she
violating human
talking
rights,
about, man.
Scott.
Well, I disagree with you.
Okay, well.
Well, look, Scott, she had a specific example. Sounds
And
like
you already knew Abbott Phillips. She's just gonna side with her because she hates Trump too. My God. A lot of time I'll be like, man, I can't see how Scott do it, man. Just be over there every day. I just don't see how he do it. But he do it. So salute to Scott Jennings, man.
we're unfamiliar with it.
I'm not aware of her example. Here's what I know.
Okay, so
under
you don't
Joe
know
Biden,
whether-
Joe Biden, they didn't enforce federal immigration law. Now we do. We're having hundreds of thousands of interactions.
my point is that you
things
just
will
said,
happen, but she said they are not
I know,
training
but you-
them.
but
She
no,
said
but
they're not
she-
training
she-
them.
Do you think that? Do you think that
she was
trained?
saying-
Do you think that trained?
She was saying a
ICE
specific
agents
example,
would,
and
No,
you said it
her
was
first
false.
statement
US
was,
citizens?
Don't.
She said,
you just
quote, they're not
acknowledge
training
that.
them.
You just
We all
acknowledge
see
that
it.
you don't know what she was
Do you
referring
think?
to.
I don't. I
Do
don't
you
know
think
what
that
she's
scooping
talking
up
about.
U.S. citizens without giving them?
I disagree with the generalization that they're scooping up U.S.
There's
citizens.
170 that have been.
Well, there's
scooped
over
up.
500,000 illegal aliens that have been deported.
There's little children
and
that have been
1.6
scooped
million
up
have
that are U.S.
self-deported.
citizens.
All right, look.
There is
I know, you don't want the law enforced.
There is
I get it.
video
You don't
of
have to
black
yell at me.
kids.
You don't want the law
All right,
enforced.
look.
I understand.
Listen, look. It is true.
Guess what?
That
On
United
this
States
table, black and
citizens
white people can
have
yell.
been detained by ICE without.
Detained and released.
Yeah,
Released.
But
Released.
whether you're detained
After
and released
hours or
after
days of
hours or
being
days,
held?
your rights may still be violated, and that's
Oh
still an
my
issue that
God.
people have a
Can I
right to
just-
be concerned
Can I
about.
just throw a curveball? The reason why they're often detained though is also because of the color of their skin.
Oh
Absolutely.
my God.
I mean, that's, again, a sweeping blanket general. Do you know of a
Well, we got
specific
data for that.
instance
No,
where
no, we
someone,
got
I mean,
data for that.
honestly.
I
They got data.
actually,
Question, do
They
we
got
know
data
a
for that.
specific
They got
instance
data
of
for
what?
that.
the answer
I mean,
is.
you're saying they're
hold
not
on a
training.
second.
You're saying they're racist.
The
I mean, these are
answer-
blanket
I didn't say that.
statements.
That was a blanket
That's
statement.
The
wild.
answer is yes, we do know of
That was
specific
a blanket
instances
statement.
in which people, American citizens,
Yep.
have been arrested because they happen to be in a particular place and look a certain way. That has actually happened. They're documented. So this is
And
not
released.
guesswork that we're doing here. Yeah, but they're still detained. They're still arrested without their rights being given to them. That
I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's just no way I can be over there on CNN. I mean, just all the lies. Anna Navarro, she won't even just shut up. She don't know what she talking about. She just against everything President Trump do. Oh, ICE isn't trained. How do you know that? Oh, you just know because you said it. And then, they trying to play the race game. Oh, they pick them up because of their skin color. I mean, man, this stuff right here is just insane. And it don't stop right there. Now, I definitely wanted to share this with y'all. Jen Psaki from MSDNC attacks Vice President J.D. Vance's marriage and wonders if Second Lady Usha Vance won't out of their marriage because of how scary J.D. is. This is a woman that's trying to speak on somebody else's marriage. Not worried about her own, because we don't even know if Jen Psaki married or not. She need to be worried about her own relationship, but she worried about if Usha Vance won't out of her relationship. She want to be away from J.D. Vance because how scared he is. Usha Vance ought to come out right now and just go off on Jen Psaki. That'll shut her up.
I think the little Manchurian candidate, J.D. Vance, wants to be president more than anything else.
Yeah.
I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Like, are you
Agreed.
okay? Please blink 4 times.
Yes.
We'll come over here. We'll save you. And that he's willing to do anything to get there. And that your whole iteration you just outlined, I mean, he's scarier in certain ways.
He's smarter
in some ways, and he's young.
Yeah, and ambitious.
And agile in the sense that he is a chameleon who makes himself into whatever he thinks the audience wants to hear from him. Now,
let's just go to show you that they are scared of 2028 because they know how smart J.D. Vance is and they know he's going to win. So now, he wants to be president. Why would he not want to be president? We would want J.D. Vance president before a Democrat.
What's also true, though, is J.D. Vance is not, he's in some ways goodish on paper if you like what he believes in. I don't know. But I don't know that he can take the whole movement with him.
No way.
I don't think so either.
There's no riz.
It's got no riz, right?
None.
And he just is a little odd.
Then she got a bunch of cheerleaders around her. Oh yeah, no way. Oh yeah, no way. He can't do this. Watch and see.
And
Totally.
so Trump's odd in a different way. So I'm skeptical of that. So yeah, he's got to. I mean, everything going on right now, and I think we have to be very clear-eyed about this, is about trying to manipulate the public around election.
Vance is just over 40, and I think Usha's 39. So yes, they're young, which is terrifying to the Democrats. Imagine, Stuart, we kept what we've seen happen over the past 10 years going for the next 8 years, which is what a lot of people believe is going to happen, that the Democrats are in such a bad spot with no leader, no message, and nothing that the American people are interested in, that once Donald Trump ends his term, and we love the Trump 2028 hats, don't kid yourself, I know everybody, especially a lot of Democrats love those, then it will be J.D. Vance for the next 8 years, and that is terrifying to the Democrat Party. Who, of course, Jen Psaki is representing them right there.
And don't forget, the youngsters in the Democrat Party are basically socialists.
Oh, yeah, manipulate the public. Oh, shut up, Jen Psaki. And I'm glad y'all is scared of J.D. Vance right now because you just wait till 2028. And then that right here bring us to Peanut Butter J.B. Pritzker, the peanut butter man. Just in the White House is scorching Illinois Governor J.B. Peanut Butter Pritzker for comparing President Trump's deportation to pre-Holocaust activities by the Nazis. I mean, somebody like this should even be governor, man. He don't care about Chicago at all. He don't care about the people that's losing their life. He don't care. Only thing he care about is just trying to stop President Trump's agenda because he can't get the job done. So he want to stop President Trump from doing it.
This is what happened. This is what happened. People's rights started getting taken away. People got accused of being immigrants. This is before the Holocaust really took place. People were accused of being immigrants, and then laws were passed to limit immigrants, and then people who weren't actually immigrants were called immigrants, and then it was othering people, and that led to a lot worse things. What I'm saying is that this is how authoritarian regimes do it. They create these kind of
authoritarian
ideas that there's an enemy out there and it could be sitting next to you at one of these tables. And so just somebody at your table that you don't like might be one of those enemies. And so let's round them up. Let's make sure that they are the subject of the laws that we're passing because we don't like who they are. That is what authoritarian regimes do.
Oh, shut up. He just want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's all he's want. That's why he's talking like that. He just want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Up here running his mouth, lying like he always do. Lying like he always do. And then you got right here the border commander, Greg Bovino, accuses Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson of inviting violence against himself and ICE agents. And this right here has been going against Brandon Johnson and Peanut Butter Pritzker. Both been doing this. But, you know, border commander Greg Bovino got something he need to say.
Constitutional. How do you respond to the Chicago mayor?
Yeah, Mayor Johnson is so out of touch with his inner city. We talk with the inner city residents on a daily basis. They're glad we're there. And as far as terrorizing, if you're a criminal, illegal alien, or an illegal alien, then you're going to go to jail and be deported. You have the opportunity to use the CBP Home app, free plane ticket home and $1,000. That's not terrorizing. That's giving folks a chance to do the right thing. If they don't do the right thing, we'll arrest them. And if Mayor Johnson equates that to terrorizing, then that's his fault for, as you say, Sandra, amping up that rhetoric, which often leads to violence against law enforcement.
Well, that's the mayor equating to terrorism. The governor of the state of Illinois is comparing the Trump administration actions to the Holocaust. Listen here.
People
That's
have
what we just
criticized me
seen.
for talking about the Nazi regime. On the right, people have criticized me. It's the one I know most about because I helped to build a Holocaust museum. People's rights started getting taken away. People got accused of being immigrants. This is before the Holocaust really took place. What I'm saying is that this is how authoritarian regimes do it.
He's made this case before. He seems to be double,
Just crazy.
tripling down on that rhetoric. Your response?
He uses the term immigrants. An immigrant is someone that comes into this country illegally, someone that we want to come into this country.
Exactly.
We are a country of immigrants.
See, he didn't want to say illegal aliens, of course, immigrants. But see, I mean, this is what they do. They try to change the words around they're trying to say immigrant, which is fine. Illegal is where we got the problem, is what the problem is. But he's trying to brainwash people and say, oh, Donald Trump is going after immigrants that are here the right way, and that ain't the case. President Trump is not going after immigrants that are here the right way. He's going after the illegals that then came in. So that's what he's going after. So you hear the Border Patrol, he's talking about this.
Your response?
He uses the term immigrants. An immigrant is someone that comes into this country illegally, someone that we want to come into this country. We are a country of immigrants. What he's not saying, and one of the things he does that really appeals to the weaker-minded constituents in Chicago, is he equates illegal aliens and criminal illegal aliens with those immigrants.
Yep, that's what he do. And they ain't stopping there. So if you look now in a disgusting mood, Democrats are about to create a master ICE tracker on an official government website to track the movements and activities of agents. Talking about we will be tracking every single instance we can verify. You know what I would do if I President Trump? If they build this right here, every time an ICE officer or ICE agent gets shot or something, they're going to do the crime. That'll stop them. Every time one of them gets shot, these Democrats are going to do the crime. So they pretty much coming out letting you know what they're going to do.
I shared this with the mayor. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, the Oversight Committee will be launching on their website a master ICE tracker where we're going to be essentially tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community will be able to send us information on.
Wow. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, man.
So Republicans cannot and will not solve it in a backroom deal. Chuck Schumer has been suggesting that 4 leaders should go into a smoke-filled back room like they used to do in the old days and create this solution. It's not a possible thing to do. It was never appropriate. It's not possible to put on a continuing resolution because it's such a complex issue. Issues of this magnitude deserve deep thought and deliberation. That's how this system works here. And as soon as Chuck Schumer reopens the government, all of our members will have an opportunity to engage in the very important discussion of how to make Obamacare affordable. But we won't engage in Democrats' hostage-taking, nor will we pay a ransom. And we passed a clean, nonpartisan CR to keep the government open for the people. Now look on the other side of that figurative split screen, as demonstrated here. The lights are out. It's all dark. Why? Because what the Democrats have accomplished in 9.5 months is a government shutdown. A couple other things sort of related to that. You know, they have made a lot of TikTok videos. We'll give them credit for that. They've also assaulted law enforcement officers. One of them's on trial for that. They've openly embraced and rallied with communists and socialists, most recently across the country on Saturday. They voted to raise taxes on millions of hardworking Americans at the worst possible time. They have voted against reducing fraud, waste, and abuse in government, and they have now voted collectively, Democrats in Congress have voted 12 times to keep the government closed down. But it doesn't stop there. The Democrat shutdown is a glaring example of just how far the Democratic Party has strayed from common sense. Remember the simple truth here. It was over a month ago now that we passed, the Republicans passed the clean, short-term, continuing resolution. It's nonpartisan. No gimmicks, no tricks, no riders, no partisan Republican policy priorities added to that. It's 24 pages in length, as we've discussed so many times, and it is very, very simple. Why? Because it was a very simple good faith effort on our part to preserve our ability to keep negotiating on the full-year funding bills. And, of course, the other big issues facing the American people.
They're sacrificing Head Start right down your street to produce Iraq Sesame Street. So they'd rather spend money on Iraqi Sesame Street then fund your Head Start programs. But President Trump is, the bad guy for putting America first. Scratch your head on that one. They're risking the safety of American skies for LGBTQI programs in the Balkans, right? Putting the Balkans over the safety of our skies. They're jeopardizing millions of paychecks to Americans to support woke programs in Honduras, Zimbabwe, Mexico, Venezuela, and Lebanon. Okay. I don't know about you, but I think that is absolutely shameful. Let me be clear. A shutdown should never be used as leverage for more wasteful spending.
So, like I said, y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, especially the ones that made it to the end. I will keep y'all up to date as more information comes out. But this right here is just absolutely insane, man. So, y'all, please let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are, what you think about this. And once again, like I said before, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.